Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Life jacket again as we continue to celebrate 50 years of Jaws. It was everywhere out west. No ocean to be found anywhere. Colorado, South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho. 2-hour holdover in Illinois. Even though the 6-year-old Dakota said, look at the ocean, we had to explain, that's Lake Michigan. It is big, though. It is almost like an ocean. Yeah, it's been 50 years, and I expected that, my last vacay going through Boston and Cape Cod, where, of course, Jaws was filmed, but I didn't expect it out west. So certainly made a huge splash to people of all sizes, all shapes, all ages. It continues to be something that, in my mind, is one of the biggest difference makers in my life. I actually went under the water yesterday out in Matanzas, and that's very rare for me. Obviously, I had a tremendous amount of cocktails in me in order to do that. And bear in mind, I am not a driver. I am a drinker. I have a designated driver who is my GF, but that movie affected me more than any movie I'd ever seen. I never go into the water. The exception yesterday. How do you say no to a 6-year-old? It's hard. It's time. It's back. Strap it in. From here on out until after the Super Bowl, no days off for the truth teller. We know that camp begins on Wednesday. Fired up for it. Storylines are absolutely endless. We're going to kind of go through them tonight. And, to me, this is what it's all about. It's the eve of camp, or in this case, I guess you have a Tuesday to throw in there that officially becomes the eve of camp. And, we witnessed Scotty Scheffler yesterday, and I found this very intriguing. Scheffler, just incredible. A 4-shot victory at Royal Portrush. He shoots a 68, 64, 67, 68. Okay, 4-shot win. Now, second major of the year, right? He's now won 3 of the 4 in order to grab a Grand Slam. The only thing that remains for him is the United States Open. He was tied for second back in 2022. But the way he's playing golf right now, I don't think anyone out there would question whether or not he's going to get that Grand Slam. Of course, we did see it this year with who the hell am I thinking of here? Rory McIlroy. Yeah, Rory, who played well over the last 4 days as well. I mean, there's no flaws in the game of Scheffler. And most importantly, he was 59 of 63 putts that were 10 foot or less. He made them all. And that is such a difference maker for Scotty Scheffler. The comparison to Tiger is sad. It is. I don't want to get into that right now because there's too many other things to do. But I think that is what we become accustomed to. There's less credit given in all of sports. Today, when you go out and you win a tournament or you win a title or you win a championship, instead of just enjoying the moment and recognizing how great it is, immediately people are like, oh, is he as good as Gary Player? Oh, is he as good as Phil Mickelson? Another guy that was, one major away from his Grand Slam, never able to win the United States Open after all of those missteps. Is he as good as Arnold? Is he as good as Jack? Is he as good as Tiger? It's like, I've just never understood it. When I was in this business and I started 34 years ago, that was not the conversation. And, we had some of the greatest rivalries, historically speaking, before I ever went on the air. And it felt like they were very timely. Okay, Arnold and Jack. Okay, Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. There were very few. And now, today, it's like every time a championship, it's like, oh, we got to compare. I mean, it happened with Brady and Peyton a lot. It happened certainly with LeBron and Michael Jordan. I think that's foolish, but nonetheless, it continues to, be a major storyline. Okay, something I got out of this yesterday and I went back and watched it last night when I got home, that I think a lot of you out there may have missed is the following, okay? He goes on, he speaks, he was very thorough during his post-round press conference, and he made the comment, let me find it here, quote, this is from Scotty Scheffler yesterday. This is not a be-all, end-all. This is not the most important thing in my life. That's why I wrestle with it. Why is it so important to me? Because I'd much rather be a great father than I would a great golfer. At the end of the day, that's what's more important to me. Okay, so I saw it, and it got very little play. As a matter of fact, that to a lot of you out there, unless you read every article or you listened to the post-game press or the post-round presser, you probably weren't aware of that. But what did I immediately think of as we're 2 days away from camp? Trevor Lawrence, and how this never seems to be able to escape Trevor Lawrence 4 years into his career. We remember Trevor. He had to go back and he had to, state that it was taken out of context and reassess the situation because he commented on how faith and family is more important to him than football, all right? And I think that that's probably the case for, 90% of the players, really in any sport. There's a few. Tiger kind of comes to mind, right? I mean, observing Tiger Woods over the years, in my opinion, it's like nothing meant more to Tiger than winning that golf event. We can make the case that nothing meant more to Michael Jordan than winning the NBA championship. But do you agree? You can basically count them on one hand. Maybe Tom Brady. And here I am talking about three people who lost their relationships, right? Lost their wives to divorce. Hell, I lost my wife to a divorce. 50% of you out there have lost your wives in a divorce. The other 50%, I don't know. Are you happy? How many of you are? Let me know. 641-1010. On the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. But there seems to be a feeling in sports where you can't say that. You can't. People still question Lawrence. I don't. My concern is whether or not he is the real deal, whether or not he is legitimately a great leader. Okay, I asked the question, does he love football? The new brass, all the players they brought in, draft picks and free agents, they love football. Okay? I think Trevor Lawrence loves football, but there are some who have not forgotten that he said that with faith and family. Yet you look at a guy like Scotty Scheffler, an individual sport, although we will credit his caddy and his swing coach and his massage therapist, his shrink, his nutritionalist, his travelist, his publicist, his pilot, his co-pilot. Don't you dare say stewardess, Ballou. You'll be kicked out again. It's flight attendant, so let's thank all of them. But it's still an individual sport, right, for Scotty Scheffler. Where's the difference? I'll tell you the difference. Scheffler's won 17 times, and he's won 4 majors. He can say basically what he wants. Trevor Lawrence hasn't. He's 22 and 38. We're 48 hours away or less from the start of training camp over at the Miller Electric Center. The pressure on him is enormous, and that is the biggest storyline again for the Jaguars. This team went 4-13. This team has lost 19 of its last 26. There feels like there's such a buzz in town, and I love it. I love it for you. I don't love it for Trevor Lawrence. I love it for you. I love it for you, the hard worker. I love it for you, the 30-year fan, getting ready for year 31. That's who I love it for. But the storylines are going to be one after another, after another, after another. And you can pass rush me. You can tell me that there's no coverage. You can certainly hop on the offensive line, which has been a disaster. You could tell me how any one of the three wide receivers is going to score from anywhere on the field. You could tell me that the pony, the 21 set, two backs that Liam Cohen ran so incredibly successfully a year ago in Tampa, having two backs on the field at one time. How much is that going to be a part of this with the Jaguars and their entire offense? You can take me through everything, and I'll sit and I'll listen. Comes down to Trevor Lawrence. Where's he going to take this team this year? And you look on opening day. You can't use the comment, must win in September. It's foolish. It's wrong. It's unacceptable. It applies here. Because I've become the ultimate hypocrite. It applies here. There's only a few teams they're favored over, I think 6. And those are some of the worst teams in football, like Carolina, like Tennessee twice. You better beat up on Bryce Young in Carolina here on opening day, because you do have a difficult schedule. The first thing that needs to be accomplished for the 2025 Jacksonville Jaguars is confidence and the ability to go out there and win a football game. Carolina is the perfect opponent. Last year, this football team acted as if they did not care whether they won or lost. I have never seen anything like it in 30 years with the Jaguars. The acceptance of losing was part of the 2024 or the 2025 team. I guess that's 2024. The 2024 team. Maybe that was a little bit of a mind stutter after 9 days of really hitting the bottle hard. I'm in a little bit of a recovery here, and it was well planned. And trust me, it was worth it, no doubt about it. But that is really going to be what this thing is all about. I love what's going on around us. I do. This is enjoyable. I mean, just think of where you are right now as a fan. To have this much excitement, considering this football team only won 4 games a year ago, it's almost, to the point where you wouldn't be able to explain it. And then you look around the league, you see Levis goes down today, surgery. So they're going to go with the rookie in Tennessee. Who knows what's going to happen in Indianapolis, where things are just awful. You look around and you take Houston, for example, trading away arguably their best player, not named Stroud or Anderson, by petting away, Tunsil. This is such an open and dysfunctional division that is really there for the taking, and it's going to be, I think, a blast. But yes, that is important to get out ahead and win that opening game against the Carolina Panthers. All right, when I come back, let's do this. Let's just, a couple of bullet points on everything around here. Not only the Jaguars, but certainly Florida State, who is making their way now to Charlotte for the Atlantic Coast Conference meetings. Florida, who had them last week in Atlanta. They were 6th in the SEC media poll, which I think is fair. My eye says I would put them ahead of South Carolina. Just my opinion. But again, we'll get into that. Georgia, Miami, and everything else that is happening. I mean, really an opportunity for all of these schools or all of these teams, if the picture is perfect, to make a tremendous run. All right? It is. It's right there ahead of them. And it is possible. Whether or not they take advantage of that remains to be seen. All right, opening comments brought to you by the good folks over at Miller Electric. Get ready for it. We're going to be at Miller Electric all this week, beginning on Wednesday, then next week, the week after, all the way through the better part of August. I love it over there. It's the best facility in the NFL, the Miller Electrics. It's just absolutely incredible, and that includes inside and outside. And they're all over the place, no matter where you are in town. All right, you can look and you can see that there's construction going on. There's building that is going on. Miller Electric, they have their fingerprints all over it. So if you want to be a part of this great company, they are hiring. They tackle the biggest projects in the city. They're offering you a chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. They also believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually do care about one another. For all the details, just go to Miller Careers. That is Miller Careers, and you can get everything that is going on right now at Miller Electric. All right, it's great to be back. Get the cobwebs out. I'm going to do my best here early on, and then I'm going to get into a groove because I'm not butting out until after the Super Bowl. It's going to be a long, I hope, exciting summer, fall, and winter in Duval. When we get back, let's tackle some of these storylines as we continue on into the night on this Monday.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
Maybe the problem is
Your morning attitude adjustment.
we're coddling these guys too much.
The Drill.
Yeah.
Weekday mornings on 1010XL, Jacksonville's sports radio.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
This is Mike Lynch, PGA Golf Professional. Take it from me. If you're dealing with an orthopedic issue, talk to the doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where you're treated like a pro.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hacker here, and I want to tell you one of my favorite things about Awaken 180 Weight Loss, and that's the personalized coaching that you get with Awaken 180. Now, a lot of weight loss programs, they'll give you some plan off their website, and they'll say, all right, have fun, see you later. Not Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Prime example of that, my Coach Kate. I've had phone calls with my Coach Kate over a year now, every single week. She's been advising me, she's been guiding me, she's been motivating me, and as a result of that, I'm down well over 100 pounds. I'm on the maintenance program now. The coaching you get with Awaken 180 helps you reach your goal. It is absolutely sensational, and it separates Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Do what I did. If it's time for you to lose weight like it was for me, go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com, or call 844-346-1800. Take it from me. If I can do it, you can do it. Get involved with Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
60 days from now, you'll be one of these two guys. The first guy, sluggish, foggy, and feeling like he just can't keep up like he used to. The second guy, driven, strong, and confident. Why? Male Excel's breakthrough microdosing protocol, a daily low-dose testosterone. You don't have to be the first guy anymore. Be the second guy. Take the same steps he took. Try MaleExcel.com. 100,000 men chose wisely. Your move.
Since 1901, generations of skilled union workers have built the backbone of our community. Hospitals, schools, the buildings where you work. Every year, a new apprentice class of Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians is stepping up, trained, driven, and ready to do great things. They're not just building our city, they're building their future. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to become a member or contractor today.
I'm Max Fink, and I'll bring you the Gator Report several times weekly to keep you connected to Gainesville.
The Gator Report, put together by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go, Gators!
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay and Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Firehouse Subs has fries. Your hometown hero since '94 just cranked up the heat. Hot subs, crispy fries, golden, pillowy on the inside, and perfectly seasoned. Over 30 Jacksonville locations. Firehouse Subs, homegrown and now with fries.
It's hurricane season. Protect your home with 904 Gutters with a Z. That's right. Z as in zone defense for your home. Water damage hits hard. 904 Gutters with a Z hits back harder. Search 904 Gutters with a Z and make the right call.
Send your favorite person a sweet summer surprise today from Kuhn Flowers, creating memories for over 70 years. This is Max, and it's just so easy. Order online at kuhnflowers.com. Jacksonville and Ponte Vedra.
New and pre-owned firearms are always in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimbar, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Your home is more than walls and a roof. It's where you breathe, drink, and power through life. At Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to keep it all running smoothly. From clean, cool air to clean water, reliable power to expert plumbing, we do it all. For over 35 years, families have trusted Donovan to make their homes healthier, safer, and more comfortable. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing today, 904-270-COOL, where health meets home. 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Hey, mama said the way you move gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove.
Into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, it's great to be back, no doubt about it. A lot of good stuff ahead of us, and certainly every school, and that includes the professional team, really have an opportunity to make a run this year. Now, I think some are more realistic than others. I would cross off Florida State immediately. I would cross off Miami. Florida, the brutal schedule. Georgia, right there ahead of them. You know, can Gunnar Stockton be that guy? And then, of course, the Jaguars, I would have to imagine right now, anything more than winning the AFC South is far-fetched in year one. Correct? Dylan, you agree with that? I mean, AFC South, even if it's 9-8, that's absolutely good enough in year one.
Yeah, 100%. Winning a division, having a winning record, that would be I would sign up for that right now.
Yeah, even if it's at 9-8, and you know it's not perfect, but you can't expect that after again losing 19 of your last 26. It's now these things happen. We know the old adage that in the NFL you have 8 divisions, you have 32 teams every year. You have a team that finished last in one of those 8 divisions the year prior who goes out and wins it this year. That, by the way, that's not Jacksonville. As we do know, that was Tennessee. But I think expectations, and listen, if you don't agree with me, you can get me on our text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also getting a lot of good stuff on YouTube. Want to bring in those folks watching us online tonight on YouTube on Into the Night. That includes Godfather Gal, all right, and her husband, Barry, who sent me a nice text earlier today reading the Philly Godfathers book. Have you completed that?
I got about 50 pages left.
What do you think so far?
It's amazing. It's outstanding. His stories, his life.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I enjoyed it. To me, it was one of those books I couldn't put down. I've read it in just a couple of days. But anyway, I appreciate all you, welcoming me back after the vacation. Unfortunately, I can't respond to you on YouTube. I don't know what's up. Some computer things are happening here and stuff and this and that. And you know I'm not one to complain, but I'll just say that I'm not ignoring you. I can get to you on the text line at 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Unfortunately, I can't get to you right now on YouTube. Okay. I heard from the Jaguars today. And this is what I have coming up. And the players that I've selected one-on-one is for very obvious reasons. You can put a major question mark by every single one of these players. It'll begin with Anton Harrison on Wednesday. I mean, Anton Harrison right now should be the best offensive lineman on the Jaguars. They have graded incredibly poor the last several years. Again, a new offensive line coach in, a completely new offensive system. Remember Liam Cohen a year ago plugging in the way that he wanted the offensive blocking scheme to be, and then that changed once pads went on. That changed once they really began to do some hitting. How much hitting will they do early on in camp? Probably very slim. We may not get a good feeling with this until they actually play preseason football games. Eric Armstead on Thursday. I don't have to tell you. You're a diehard fan. Last year was lost for him. A colossal disappointment for Eric Armstead. Apparently, he is dead set back in the middle, along with Smith and along with, Mason Smith. As a matter of fact, I have him coming up later in the week as well because I think he's another very important player. But, Devon Hamilton and Eric Armstead and Mason Smith, those three guys expected to take the majority of the reps. The interior defensive line. I think a lot of you would agree that if there was one position on this football team that they could have added another veteran, it would have been the interior defensive line. I think most would say that. Devin Lloyd on Friday. Contract year for Devin Lloyd. The grades and the eye test will tell you that he's been a solid linebacker against the run. But he has struggled mightily against the pass, right? And there are times, once again, where it feels like with Devin Lloyd that he doesn't trust his football instincts, that perhaps he's thinking too much out there. So looking forward to that. Saturday, Jarian Jones. Okay? He's never played zone defense in his life. He played a variety of different positions at Florida State. We know he played mostly slot a year ago in Jacksonville. He wants to win that boundary corner spot opposite Tyson Campbell. We'll see. Many believe the leader right now for that is Buster Brown, who I will talk with on Monday. It's a contract year for Buster Brown. Buster Brown performs well. He's very underrated. I think that most Jaguar fans would like more playing time and perhaps, consistency is something that I just don't know if people at this particular time are willing to state that. It feels like he's played well, but maybe not enough. And then Mason Smith on Tuesday. I mean, you look at all these players. Mason Smith, honestly, out of all of them, if you look at where they are and where they could go, there's no stopping Mason Smith. The storyline there is endless. This guy could end up being one of the great players on this football team. I mean, everything he did a year ago was just backfired. His eating habits, his work habits, and he's got first-grade possibility. So are you in when it comes to Mason Smith? He out of all the weight loss, and that's been, one of the other storylines that we witnessed during OTAs, that we witnessed during mini camp. You can look at Devin Lloyd. You can certainly look at Josh Hines-Allen. It just goes on and on and on. Players who lost weight. Trayvon Walker told us he only lost 3 pounds. Yet if you got a really good look at his body, it just completely chiseled. I mean, to me, I would have guessed that he lost around 10 or so pounds, but apparently he's added muscle to his frame. And I think a lot of people believe he's going to have a monster year. in his third season. That's another storyline which we'll get to later on this week. What are you going to do with Trayvon Walker? I mean, after the deals now to Myles Garrett and after the deal now that went in with Watt, and I'm not comparing Walker to those two. I'm not. But his agency will. You can't ask for a hometown discount. You either get the going rate or you wait on it. I'd wait on it. I'd wait. I don't think Trayvon's a guy who's going to hold out. I would wait on this for Walker and, let him play a couple of seasons. You've got him inked with that fifth-year first-round option that has been picked up. There's no hurry on this. There was no hurry for Trevor. Again, I think I was the only one around here who said don't sign Trevor. Don't give him the extension yet. Let him go out there and earn it. Has he earned it? That's up to you. They paid him. Great. It doesn't even kick in until next year. That's why some of the national stuff that's out there about, the most overrated quarterback and the worst contract in the NFL, they mentioned Trevor. And I'm like, dude, the contract hasn't even kicked in yet. How can you say that? It goes back to Lawrence, though. I mean, this season is going to be enormous for the quarterback. So, there you go. Wednesday, Anton Harrison. Thursday, Eric Armstead. Friday, Devin Lloyd. Off Saturday are the Jags. Sunday, Jarian Jones. Monday, Buster Brown. And then Tuesday, Mason Smith. That is who I have chosen. So I'm going 5 defensive players there, Dylan, which is really against what I've been saying
all offseason.
The entire offseason about how just fix the offense and score. But anyway, that's what I've decided in week 1.
Yeah, I mean, the defense needs improving too. Defensive, in the interior. So you can talk with Armstead about that. The linebacker core outside of Foye has a lot of question marks. And then the secondary, a lot of moving pieces. So, I mean, the storylines, all going to be on offense on Trevor and Travis Hunter. But the defense still has plenty. It's just, the offense is where the sex. It's where it's sexy. So,
yeah.
And
I also think it's an unusual camp for the Jaguars where there are so many positions that I believe are available to become a starter. Now, when you get to running back, I'm almost looking like this as being hockey lines. It doesn't matter who the starter is. ETN and Bigsby are both going to get a significant amount of playing time. The scheme is going to be really intriguing to watch as well, because I think we all are under the assumption that it's going to be one back and you're going to have 3 wide receivers. What if they go to a 2-back set? Okay. He did a lot of that a year ago in Tampa. It almost feels like Liam Cohen's got a lot of toys to choose right now. I mean, potentially there are so many game breakers on this team, more game breakers on this offense than you've seen around here in more than a decade. No doubt about that. So I'm going to eliminate running back. All right. I think, they believe that 4 guys are going to have a role, including both rookies. There's a real battle for that second tight end. Okay. If you look at, talked about the 21 and the pony, the two back one tight end set that certainly Liam Cohen implemented a great deal a year ago. The second most, grouping offensively that he ran was the 12 with 1 back and 2 tight ends. And, getting rid of Evan Ingram, who was that, productive for you. Obviously, you look at guys like Johnny Munt and Hunter Long and their need to be a solid running tight end, someone that they can get behind and 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, pick up these key first downs. Offensive line, my guess is we have one change. If you're decided on the fact that it's going to be Little, Cleveland, Hainsey, McCarty, and Harrison, if I was a betting man, I would say that one of those positions changes by opening day. Now, who is that? Is it Wyatt Milam, the rookie? Is it Fred Johnson? Is it Chuma Edoga? I don't know. That would be the three candidates for me. I don't think it's going to be Javon Foster. I don't think it's going to be Luke Fortner. I don't think it's going to be Cole Van Lannon. So, as a matter of fact, Fortner and Foster, they may not even make this team. Some recognizable names around here that may end up get cut. Wide receiver, you're set with your 4. You know it. So that's really not a position grabber for starters. I'm talking about starters here. That 5th wide receiver, you hope he doesn't catch any balls all year because you hope that the top 4 remain healthy. You want your 5th wide receiver to be a 4-core special teams player, a guy that can get out there on punt, return, kick, return, and be a big part of that. That is what you want in your 5th wide receiver, and they may even keep a 6th wide receiver. We don't know. When you get to that, though, it comes down to special teams. You better off keeping a 6th wide receiver or an extra corner, a 6th wide receiver or an extra safety. Now, this team will probably keep 4 tight ends. I think you can kind of find a tight end, right? Maybe bury one on the practice squad. Defensively, it feels like that, that linebacker situation has been settled in that it's definitely going to be Devin Lloyd, okay, next to Foye Oluokun. I happen to be a big believer in Ventrell Miller. I think that's going to be interesting in camp. I'd like to say the Hamilton, Smith, Eric Armstead deal is very similar to what I said with running backs. You just hope it's a really good rotation, that all 3 guys eat and pick up all of the snaps. You're going to need a 4th guy who's going to give you some, whether that's Jordan Jefferson or Tyler Lacey or whomever. Okay. And then you get to the secondary, which is absolutely wide open. I think right now you plug in, 3 starters in your secondary. Eric Murray's definitely a safety. Tyson Campbell is definitely a corner. Jordan Lewis, you spent a ton of money on. He's your slot. Now, does he start in slot or does he start at the boundary? And then once you go to nickel, you slide him inside. I would love to see that if they believe he is their best corner. But we just mentioned Buster Brown, and we just mentioned Jarian Jones, okay? These guys want to be heard from. Who's going to be your number 2 safety? Perfect world, it's Caleb Branshaw. Get 4 years out of him, 3rd-round pick. Plug him in immediately and have him play. That would be wonderful if you could get that out of a rookie, 3rd-rounder. Hunter's going to play. We know that. He's going to play both sides. We know that. But to get that from Ranshaw, even this early, I have no feeling on Ranshaw. I usually say this only about in the ditch because there's no pads. I did not know and still do not know what to make of Caleb Ranshaw. He's another player who is going to a totally new position. He worked on it at the Senior Bowl, and he's worked on it here. But it doesn't work for everyone immediately, changing positions. So there you go. I mean, what a great camp that you have, that amount of starting positions. You go around the league, you may have 1, you may have 2. So this is really different. And, I can't remember the last time there was a camp that actually had this that was taking place. So I think it is pretty cool. All right, when we get back, let's get to college. Let's do that a little bit with, we'll begin with the Noles, okay, because I'm a Florida State grad. We'll do that. We'll look at them. They're getting ready to go to Charlotte to meet with the media. The Gators did so a week ago. The Dogs did so a week ago. Miami's getting set to go to Charlotte. If you look at those 4 teams, pretenders, contenders, where are we? That's on the other side.
1010XL is multimedia. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
You can't buy this kind of media exposure.
1010XL, maximum media exposure.
This is Jennifer Marion at Randy Marion Cadillac. Are you ready to drive away today in luxury? Then you should check out Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville.
Discover our luxurious lineup with over 100 Cadillacs to choose from, including the stunning Cadillac IQ, Lyriq, Optique, and Vistique.
And here's something important. The $7,500 tax credit on EV vehicles will be gone in just 90 days.
That's right. Don't miss your chance to save while driving in style.
Visit us at Randy Marion Cadillac.
Plus tax type Title $9.99 admin fee and resist all on approved credit.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campion Law.
Hey, it's Joe C. Summer in Jacksonville means the sun is hot, the grills are fired up, and your water heater probably full of sludge.
Nah, not mine.
Think, when was the last time you flushed your water heater out? It's okay, you can say it.
Probably never.
Flushing a water heater each year improves its efficiency and extends its lifespan.
They sure don't make them like they used to.
So call Roland Reese Plumbing for a routine water heater flush out and any other plumbing needs. 260-7059 or at plumberinjacks.com. Roland Reese Plumbing.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, 2 locations in Jacksonville.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 21st, 1973, Atlanta Braves Hank Aaron hits Philadelphia Phillies Ken Brett's fastball for home run number 700.
The Golf Club of Southampton has big plans for 2026, renewing the greens plus plenty more. But right now is the time to take advantage of member opportunities before the big renovation. Now until the end of September, you can join and save 50% off their initiation fee plus $500 back in a gift card with a 12-month commitment. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Playability for every skill level and a huge practice area to hone your game. Lock in now and enjoy membership privileges at the Golf Club of Southampton.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, taking a look at storylines as we get ready for camp. We've gone through the Jags. We'll get back to them because that's what we do around here. But I do want to mix in a little bit of college football. The Atlantic Coast Conference meetings begin tomorrow. I will not be attending them this year. And I'm very excited about that because instead I will be right here being able to cover Jaguars preseason over at the Miller Electric Center. You know, I've been to Pinehurst, I've been to Charlotte. It's a good event. It lags compared to the SEC, but then again, everything does. Tomorrow I get to hear from Jim Phillips, which is a bore. That is a total snore fest. Again, another puppet and a guy that, honestly, in my opinion, doesn't have much of a clue. And, you know, I say that, respectively when talking about Jim Phillips. I just think he's in way, way over his head. But he'll take us through the Dog and Pony Show tomorrow. Miami is up tomorrow. Florida State is up on Wednesday. So I'll be checking in with Joe Cowart with that both days. And, we'll give you a brief on them both. Okay, before I get to this with Florida State, so let me give you a little tip. Because for those of you who don't know, I think it was post-COVID for me. And I don't know if it was because I took the jab or if it was from COVID, but I was really messed up for a couple of years. I had symptoms, side effects, stuff that I just can't explain. And my good buddy, Dr. Shinatri, fixed my major headaches by doing adjustments on my neck. Okay, that was wonderful. But I still had what I wouldn't consider enormous headaches. It was more of uneasiness, dizziness, and it was right on my forehead. Okay, I'm not talking about a headache in the middle of your head or your temples. I'm talking about forehead. And it was one of the worst. And you mentioned a doctor, any type of doctor. And I saw him. And I finally went to this, I think it's eye and ear is where I went. And I went through all these different drills. And telling you, I'm not a doctor, but I'm just giving you a free tip. If you experience these type of headaches, because I get them all the time, and they go away, just take your head straight, have your eyes looking straight forward, move your eyes up, move your eyes down. Do it in a very slow manner, okay? For those watching on YouTube, you can see what I am doing. You do that about 30 times, and you do a couple of reps. I know it's tiring, moving your eyes. I know it is. So, at your own pace. You do reps of 30, eyes up, eyes down, eyes up, eyes down. It goes away. It's freaking incredible. It goes away. Dude, I'm traveling through the mountains of Colorado. I'm going through South Dakota. All of a sudden it will pop up. I'll just look at it. You look up and down. Look up, look down. And it goes away.
Looking at the mountains, that's not hard to do. I remember when I went to Colorado, whenever that was a couple weeks ago, you're just looking up and down the whole time, looking left and right. Like this mountain just keeps going and going and going.
Mm-hmm. But, because I care about you. And if you have a migraine or you have a hangover or you have a significant headache, this ain't for you. Talking about the dizziness, the blurriness, and the uncomfortable feeling with your forehead. It's absolutely phenomenal what can take place here. Florida State. Here's the biggest storyline of all. Can Mike Norvell coach? Period. I mean, I've never been so confused in my life. This is year 6 for Mike Norvell. And I don't care how passionate or how casual you are as a Florida State fan. You have to agree with me here. We do not know if this man can coach. I mean, he won 19 straight games. But so many, and it's tough to complain when you win 19 straight. It is. It's pretty foolish. But so many of those games were a grind. So many of those games with all those NFL players and Jordan Travis, they had to pull out late because they played to the level of their competition. They found themselves down. Look at Florida State pulling out that game against Florida a couple of years ago when Travis played one of the greatest games that any Florida State quarterback has ever played. Florida State should have blown them out in both situations. They didn't. They won by the skin of their teeth. A year ago, you knew Florida was the better team. Florida blew them out. And that's what the Noles didn't do, is blow out opponents. So here we are now with a disaster of 2-10. 4 incoming offensive linemen who are redshirt seniors are projected starters from other schools. All have playing time. We don't know. Why is it that Florida State can't fix the offensive line? Same question here in town. Why is it that Jacksonville can't fix the offensive line? Jacksonville's tried. They brought in 6 new bodies this year. We'll see what happens there. Thomas Castellanos, man, I don't know. Every time I talk to a Nole fan, you know what they say to me about Thomas Castellanos? Is he going to get hurt against Alabama in the opener like DeAndre Francois did? I'm like, man, I hope not. We don't know. Who do they have as a proven wide receiver? We don't know. Who do they have on the defense that you can, really trust defensively? I mean, really, really trust. They got a couple of good players over there. But it's been a revolving door for Florida State, as far as their defense. And, I don't feel nearly as comfortable right now about the defense this year as I have the last couple of years, even though they were really scorned. Let me pull this up real quick for you. I mean, obviously, Darrell Jackson is there, and he's going to Charlotte. I want to say Earl Little is going to Charlotte, or it might have been Rawls who's going to Charlotte. One of those two will be joining him. Pretty talented football players. I think Shaheem Brown is a pretty good football player. But outside of that, what are you going to do? Their entire linebacking core is new. Deontay McCray, the other edge, is new. Again, you're talking about a situation where Florida State could have 10 to 11 of their 22 starters be brand new, be transfer portal guys. And that was the biggest credit for Mike Norvell. Early on, no one hit the recruiting trail better when it came to transfers than Mike Norvell. And you know what? To his credit, they developed a lot of those players. They really did. And that begins with Jared Verse, who did nothing at Albany. Some had done some things. Coleman at Michigan State, Braden Fisk at, I think it was Western Michigan or Eastern. I mean, he had performed well. Some had, but some actually. Trey Benson did nothing at Oregon. So Norvell deserves credit for that, being able to find talented guys and give them a new opportunity. I don't know about these players. Not nearly as highly ranked as, going out and getting the players that they did the last couple of seasons. So it's going to be very interesting. But that's honestly what it comes down to. The last thing you want is to get out of this and be 6-6 and be 7-5, and you swallow that, and then people are like, let's give him another year. He's going to have a pretty good recruiting class. I can't accept that. And I also can't accept the fact that truly, I'm not saying this for any reason. I'm saying it because it's the truth. I don't know if he can coach. And it's the 6th year. It's scary, man. I mean, it is scary. You knew every Jaguar coach. You went through it. They got an opportunity and they blew it. Okay? Some checked out, right? Most notably Doug Peterson. Just checked out. But we do not know. I don't think anyone knows what's going on with Mike Norvell. All right, Miami on the other side. Then we'll get to both Florida and Georgia, giving you some early storylines as college football getting set to get underway. Of course, the Jaguars open up camp on Wednesday.
2nd and goal for the 5-yard line.
Hear the voice of the Jaguars, Frank Franchi.
2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Crowd getting involved.
Afternoons on the Franchi Show.
Victory formation for Jacksonville.
On 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
The dog days of summer are here, and so are the hottest deals of the year. Whether you're hauling down the street, cruising on the beach, or just escaping the heat, we have the ride you're looking for and the wow you experience you deserve. Save big on select models with sizzling summer savings, low financing, and limited time bonus cash on all trades. So don't sweat it. Come beat the heat at Beaver Automotive, where the summer deals will wow you.
Did you know that for every inch of rain on a 2,000 square foot roof, 1,500 gallons come off the eaves of the roof? Call Clearwater Seamless Gutters and Drainage, and we'll design a plan using our Clearwater Seamless Gutters, and we'll connect those gutters to a Clearwater drainage system to solve your erosion and standing water issues.
Clearwater Seamless Gutters. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at gutters. And drainage, too.
SeamlessGuttersJacksonville.com.
Jax is more than a city, beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We're a community that takes care of each other. I'm former Jaguar Tom McManus. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. From estate cleanouts to furniture and appliance removal, we handle it all. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We're here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated. J-Dog, Junk Removal and Hauling.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret, Dandy's never frozen, always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses, no dry crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little dude with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand, a quality sandwich. So do what I do and stop in at a Daly's and make yours a dandy today.
Florida heat hitting like a heavyweight? Time to call in the champ. KO Electric and HVAC. We knock out the heat and power up your comfort. Fast, reliable, and undefeated in home service. KOElectricJacks.com. KOElectricJacks.com.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Football season is almost here, so before it arrives, I'm going to get my home organized. Lauren Brooks here. Closets by Design creates custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms or entertainment centers. Anywhere that needs to be organized. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off with free installation. Yes, that's 40% off plus an additional 15% off during the month of July. Call 878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
This summer, you can beat the heat at Best Bet, your premier poker destination. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a first-time card player, you'll find a cool retreat from the summer heat with thrilling games, big payouts, and refreshing drinks. Join us for an unforgettable experience. Cool off and cash in at Best Bet. The stakes are high, the cards are hot, and your chance for fun is guaranteed. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Hacker here, and guess what my scale reads? 195 pounds. I'm shocked seeing that number, but it's there every month. The weight is staying off after dropping 122 pounds. Absolutely life-changing. Awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, 7 o'clock in Jacksonville. Big week. Get all this rain in and get it out. The Miller Electric Center can handle anything. They do have an indoor facility, which is state-of-the-art. It's spectacular, but I like when they work outdoors. I know it's hot, but I want to see it all. And that'll begin on Wednesday over at the Miller Electric Center. I know the tickets were available. I don't know if they still are. I would go to jaguars.com to get all of your information. Some pretty good stuff there. A lot of response from you on what we've been talking about, and it is appreciated, both college and pro. 0981 said, excited for Ransaw. He's a tackling machine. The Jags have been bad at tackling. You can really make the case out of the rookie class. He's their biggest wild card. Okay, all the attention's going to be on Hunter, but Ransaw could be a guy that you plug in and he plays immediately and is a starter. And I don't know if I can say a difference maker this early, but certainly is a big part of it. Or this could be another Antonio Johnson situation where, you know, many believe Johnson had first-round talent. There were other reasons why he did not go in the first round. Johnson, I think, now fighting for his job. He does some wonderful things in practice, Antonio Johnson. Then there are other times you're like, well, what's going on here? So I would agree with that. All right, let's get to Miami. The 38-35 says the Canes going to shock y'all. 10-2 a year ago. Listen, I love Mark Fletcher. He's one of my favorite backs in the league. I mean, he reminds me of Stephen McGuire, touchdown, Miami. Stephen McGuire, the kid from Brooklyn, right? They're always going to run two backs. We do know that. The offensive line is pretty well set with Maya Oga there, who's going to be a first-round pick, they say. They brought in one transfer. Okay, the difference there for Miami is they had success with it a year ago. They're going to do the same thing this year. They've brought in two wide receivers who they really think are going to be, difference makers for them. Carson Beck takes over. For those of you who missed out on it, Will Levis out for the year in Tennessee. All right, I don't think that really applied anyway. Cam Ward was going to get that job. But interesting that Levis is now going to be on the shelf for the entire season. It's a mixed bag for Carson Beck. It really is. I mean, some think he could be so good that he ends up being a first-round draft pick. Others are like, he's just the guy. So that's going to be fascinating to see that. One of the biggest storylines for Miami that you don't hear anyone talk about is their entire secondary has been brought over via the transfer portal. Ruben Bain, one of the best players in college football, a monster. I would say a first-round pick. I think Miami, do they have a chance to make the playoffs? Yes. We went through Florida State. Do they have a chance to make the playoffs? No. Clemson is the absolute favorite. It's a shame that Clemson and Miami do not play this year. That's really the only regrettable situation that you can think about when you talk about the Atlantic Coast Conference. I think those are going to be the two best teams. I just received my voting because I've been an Atlantic Coast Conference voter every year about All-Americans, or all-conference, preseason all-conference, as well as the overall ranking of the teams. I'm going to put Clemson 1. I'm going to put Miami 2. I'm going to do a little bit more research on where I'm going to go with 3 and 4, but it's probably going to be like a Louisville SMU. But there's not a lot of, circle the calendar, oh, we can't miss this game. Miami-Clemson would have been that game. And unfortunately, we don't get it. Being in South Florida, early on this year is going to be absolutely spectacular, okay? I mean, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. You have, what the heck, what is this taking me to? For crying out loud, I don't like this. Hold on one second. Let me switch websites. They're giving me inaccurate information when it comes to the Miami Hurricanes. All right, I want to pull up their schedule because I know that both Notre Dame and Florida head to South Florida in the month of September. Okay, I mean, this is one of the greatest schedules that Miami has had in really years and years. Notre Dame at Miami, Florida at Miami, followed up by a trip to Florida State. Okay, also in September, very, very winnable games against state teams. Bethune-Cookman comes in, South Florida comes in. If they can get through that, and they're better than Florida State right now, doesn't mean they're going to win. It's a rivalry game. Florida State gets this thing going a little bit. I mean, we'll take a look at it October 4th. Right now, it looks relatively easy. And you just say, yeah, Miami wins that game. But things change. That Friday night game against Louisville is going to be big. They get Stanford here. Remember what happened a year ago when they made that late-night trip, played against Cal. Cal was blowing them out. Miami came back into it and won it. SMU on the road. That is their most difficult road game, going to SMU. Then with Syracuse and NC State at home, and you get the two cold weather games to wrap up the year, Vatech and Pittsburgh. Yeah, I look at Miami as like a 9-3, a 10-2. Will they grab an at-large bid? Perhaps, but I still think Clemson is going to win the division. All right, the Florida Gators came in at number 6. That is where they were ranked, and I think that is fair. I think most Gator fans, looking at this, just understand. I mean, the conference as a whole. Let's see if I can find this. I took it down and I was just blown away. I don't know why I was. Yeah, here we go. Betting wise, college football championship winners. Texas, number 1 right now, 6-1. That's plus 600. Georgia, 13-2. That's plus 650. Then you go Ohio State, Penn State. I mean, when you get to Penn State, can't you just kind of automatically go, what? Really? I mean, James Franklin. Penn
Everyone's
State?
high on them this year.
I know they are. They have tremendous backs. My favorite back in football, Drew Aller. Many believe as well he could be the first quarterback. So still Penn State. Then you get to Clemson. We just mentioned them. Bama, 9-1. LSU, 16-1. Florida, 33-1. So the schedule is just nuts. What you need to ask yourself, can Florida make the playoffs at 9-3? I think that's the question. I think that's the storyline. You're not going to win all these games. No one's going to win all these games. We'll see what happens with Texas and Georgia. And yes, they do play one another. DJ Lagway is it. I mean, the guy is electrifying. I know that health concern is your biggest problem. Is that fair? I mean, when I said that to you, Dylan, right now when you go into the year, that your biggest concern is whether or not DJ Lagway is going to stay healthy.
Not even close. Not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, the second question, I can't even think of one at the top of my mind that hinders Florida, from going 9-3 as to 7-5.
There you go. And, that's what it comes down to. And, yeah, I'm a Knoll and this and that, but I've said it forever, and I honestly mean this. I don't ever want to see anyone get injured. That is their livelihood. Even though in the case of Lagway, he's a millionaire. He's got himself some cash. He's going to make it to the NFL. No, I don't want to see that. But that's what it ends up coming down to for the Florida Gators. Now, what is really interesting here with Florida compared to what we talked about with Florida State and with Miami is the development of their own players. Dallas Wilson returns. There's another outstanding wide receiver. But you're talking about very few possible starters, maybe only one, when you look at Michael Sturdivant as a wide receiver and a 3 wide receiver set, is coming in immediately and, being a starter. So everything that's been said about Billy Napier, being able to hang on to these football players and watch them grow, it's a very experienced team. I'm just looking at their roster right now. You have 3 seniors on your defense, 3 projected seniors as starters, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you've got 5 seniors and 6 juniors right now. The only one who comes into the mix is the sophomore, Miles Graham. I mean, that's a veteran team. And who knows what these younger guys would do when they come on in, including Ben Hanks. I loved his dad. I thought he was a phenomenal player. Never forget working with Howard David, and I forget who the color analyst was in Atlanta. It was the first ever SEC championship game, and I was a spotter for Howard David. And Ben Hanks picked off that pass as Arkansas was driving, and Howard David didn't punch me, grabbed me, who is it? And I put it right on Hanks. And that's a lot of responsibility for $100. That's all I was getting paid. It's like, what if I didn't put down Ben Hanks? What if I put down, I'm trying to think of another linebacker in that era for that. What if I put down Lawrence Wright or something, a safety? You know what I mean? That would have been on me, but it was Ben Hanks. And
yeah, those are one of those jobs where you have to be perfect.
Yeah.
In exactly that moment. If it's not the same, if you wait 3 seconds and then point to the right person.
No. I did quite a few Gator games with Howard David. I did one in the Plains, and Auburn was up 10-0. And then Reedale Anthony took back a kick. I know I was spawning for him that game as well. So anyway, for Florida, I think that, keeping your quarterback healthy and you can lose. Florida can absolutely lose with this schedule. I mean, talk of being undefeated, I think, is silly. And, that may even be the case for Texas and Georgia, the 2 highest ranked teams. The SEC media voted on it, and Texas, Georgia, Bama, LSU, South Carolina, Florida were the top 6 ranked teams. I do not vote in the SEC, but if I did, I would have put Florida ahead of South Carolina. So there you have it, the very latest there. Some difficult roadies, though, going to LSU and Miami. Massive. Going to A&M. Of course, here with Georgia, and then wrapping up very winnable games at Kentucky, at Mississippi. Let's wrap with the Dogs. I think the Dogs, I haven't announced anything yet. I still want to give it a little bit more time. But right now, my guess is Georgia's going to win the national championship. I just think they have the most talent. I think the pressure on Arch Manning and Steve Sarkisian is going to fold in Austin, Texas. I just believe that. I think Kirby Smart's a better coach than Steve Sarkisian. I don't know who's a better quarterback, Gunnar Stockton or Arch Manning. Both have incredibly limited amount of time spent as a starter. So that's going to be huge. But it's a formidable schedule. You get Tennessee on the road in early September. You have that massive game against Alabama, which to me, when we went through college football games, I identified this as the biggest game in the regular season. Now, some people will say, wait a minute, Ballou, it's going to be Georgia and Texas because of the timing of that game, which is in November. And I'll give you that. I will. But there's a little bit of me that thinks, I don't know, maybe Texas is going to stub their toe a couple of times before that meeting in Athens. Kentucky at home at Auburn. Okay, all this rivalry in the South. Mississippi here in Jacksonville with the Gators at Mississippi State. You don't want anything to do with Luke Kromenhoek and Mississippi State. I'm going to tell you that right now. Texas, Charlotte, and Georgia Tech. I think they have a chance to win the national title. I do. I mean, I'm really going out on a limb here, right? I mean, most betting services have them in the top three consistently all across the board when you look at, teams that you really do believe that can win a national title. I made this comment before I went on vacation, and I made it because I believed it. I think, honestly, there are more teams that you can make a case for to win the Super Bowl than you can make a case for to win the national championship, despite the number being enormous as far as the amount of teams on Saturday compared to the 32 teams that we do see on Sunday. Very similar situation at Georgia with Florida. Transfer portal, yeah, they brought in some really good football players, but most believe, Zachary Branch is going to be in the rotation at wide receiver. And I don't know much about him, but Elo Modesty apparently is going to be the only incoming transfer or true freshman who is going to start on this defense. They're that good. And again, this is a veteran group. 2 sophomores, 5 juniors, and 4 seniors. Been around. So we'll see. I've always, when it comes to picking a national title and a national championship, the first thing I always look at is your quarterback. And I want a returning quarterback. The second thing I always look at is returning starters. To me, that is incredibly important. It's really scary this year when you look at what many believe are the top 3 teams. Ohio State, Texas, and Georgia. You have brand new quarterbacks. I know Gunnar got a little bit of run late, and Arch got a little bit of run, midway through the year. But still, that's not something that I normally would do. And it's the way that I feel right now. All right, your thoughts. 641-1010 brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. If you want to get on in, also welcome those watching us on YouTube. 1010XL into the night.
Honoring hard-working heroes.
Work all week long, punching that clock just to
Duval's Good Timin' Sports Talk Radio.
I need a good time.
This is 1010XL.
Yeah, I've been working all week and I'm tired. I don't want to sleep and I want to have fun.
Sun's out, savings out. That's what this summer is all about. Hurry to Kia on Atlantic this month to maximize your fun in the sun. Make no payments for 90 days and drive new Kias starting under $20K. Plus, it's easy to shop for new Kias when you know we have financing rates starting at 0. Take advantage of the sunniest time of year and drive away with the sunshine savings from here. Online at KiaOnAtlantic.com. Kia on Atlantic, your Kia Coastal Connection. For complete details, call 904-250-0587.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World, simply the best for less. And thank you for your business.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Barry here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Barry Orthopedics today or visit barryorthopedics.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys Locksmith Service.
This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 21st, 1973, Atlanta Braves Hank Aaron hits Philadelphia Phillies Ken Brett's fastball for home run number 700.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey, it's Frank Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee and Kate's. It's local, family-owned, and they've been part of our community since 1926. They've taken great care of me over the years, and I know they'll do the same for you. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Hey, Hickett here. Think you got the ugliest garage floor on the First Coast? Your garage a crack-stained hot mess? Hold on to your squeegee. Checkmate Coatings is hunting for the worst garage floor out there. And the winner gets a free garage coating makeover. Whoa! Take 10 seconds. Snap a pic of that garage eyesore. Register at checkmatecoatings.com/contest for a chance to win a free floor coating. It's easy. Just snap a quick pic and enter for a chance to win at checkmatecoatings.com/contest. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy. Why so glum?
Stinky ice cubes, Jason. It's all downhill from here.
What?
The tap water in my place smells kind of funky. Funky tap water makes funky ice cubes. I meet a nice girl, invite her back to my place for a cocktail, and blow my whole romantic gesture with a mojito that smells like dog's feet.
Wait, I can totally make you way cooler.
I'm not taking your charity ice cubes, Jason. I have my pride.
Your pride is safe. Our plumbers can be at your house the day you call and install a whole home water purification system. Water tastes better, dishes come out cleaner, even your hair feels better after you shower.
Ooh, the ladies love a man with soft hair, don't they, Jason?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend every day worried about the water in your own home, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Dominance across the pond at the Royal Portrush Golf Club. A 4-stroke victory for Scotty Scheffler. And 68, 64, 67, 68. Really no doubt about it. I think he was 3 strokes behind on Thursday, but it was never really in doubt. All right, let's bring in our golf analyst. Always a pleasure to have Rick Shoemaker join us. Of course, he's the owner and operator of the Wild One right there on 210. That, of course, is Cimarron Golf Club. Rick, how are you?
I'm awesome. Awesome. Beautiful night. The storms missed us, and again, what more can we ask than being in North Florida?
Yeah, I was gone for a week. I traveled throughout the West. How was it last week? Did Cimarron get some rain?
Yeah, we did get rain. We're getting rain every day. The Florida weathermen are right every day right now, so they're keeping their jobs.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, let's get right to it. Scheffler, phenomenal, and the one stat that just sticks out more than any to me, Rick, 59 of 63 for Scotty Scheffler, putts inside of 10 feet.
Yeah, unbelievable. Look, I mean, I think every stat every week shows if he's putting, he's unbeatable, and that's what's happening right now. And this week, it came to fruition, and he dominated. It was almost like a cold killer, you know, that term, calculated, methodical. Some people use that term, but to me, it's just he just got blinders on, and he goes through his process, and he just dominates.
Yeah. You know, he struggled a little bit early. He had that accident with a knife in the kitchen, and he had to take some time off, and comes back. He's won several events, including 2 majors. 3 now out of the 4 are in place for him to win the Grand Slam. You look at this run he's been on. Where is he, and how much better do you believe he can actually get?
You know, again, let's stay on the last one. I don't know if you can get any better, right? I mean, again, it's his putting. Can his putting be more consistent? Again, I'm not sure where he ranks overall on the annual basis, but could it be more consistent? Yes, but can he get any better? I mean, it's just unbelievable how deep, finite he is with his irons. And with all that movement, it just shows you, right, in golf, there's different ways to do it. And he's all over the place. If he went to an instructor and wasn't winning, they'd be talking about his feet staying still and working through all that. But he maneuvers that ball better than anybody on tour. And that's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And when McIlroy made his comments, I said to some people today, I'm disappointed. I mean, top 5 guys, when they talk about somebody being so far ahead of them, to me, it just seems like a defeatist attitude.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because you don't see that in team athletics. I think you rarely see that in individual athletics. I mean, Rory McIlroy, it was his way of complimenting Scotty Scheffler. But, boy, I can't ever imagine a Tiger Woods saying something like that.
No, not at all. I think, and heck, I wouldn't say it. And I'm probably, 10 millionth in the world right now? I don't know. It's crazy to me that somebody that good has that defeatist, conceited mindset. I just don't get it. To be at that level, I would be fighting left and right to tell somebody I'm gonna beat him next time.
Rick Shoemaker. Rick Shoemaker's our guest. He's our golf analyst, and he, of course, is the owner and operator of the Cimarron Golf Club, the Wild One. How about Bryson DeChambeau, a 78, and I'm like, that's it, he's out. Then he drops a 65 on you, and again, a 64 on Sunday. It was announced over the weekend or maybe earlier today, Keegan Bradley said even though he's on the LIV Tour, he is going to play in the Ryder Cup.
I thought that was fantastic. I think the shot of abnormality, most people would say, someone from the outside playing on the Ryder Cup is phenomenal. And then Bryson with his energy and his game right now, he consistently is up there in the majors. I think it's fantastic for golf that he's going to be on the team.
Yeah, I'm not a LIV hater like some of our listeners are. I know that you've enjoyed it when you've watched it, but it was pointed out that if you look at the 4 majors and you look at here, the Players' Championship, all won by members of the PGA Tour.
Yeah, sure. The odds are there, right? There's how many tour guys and how many LIV guys. So the odds are there. But when you look at Shambo's dominance, you look at Koepka, he was up there. The guys that consistently are up there, they are older. That people got to remember that, right? Those guys, a lot of the guys that defected, whatever term you want to use, were on the backside of their careers, either mentally or physically.
Yeah.
And that's why they went. Bryson was the exception, and he's the exception when you look at his results.
Do you like what we just witnessed over the last 4 days? What do you prefer in a perfect scenario, that or what we witnessed last month with the United States Open in Oakmont?
I prefer the Oakmont scenario, but at the same time, again, you got to have a little bit of everything, and it was fun to watch. And seeing those guys shoot those low numbers and have a chance. And look, full circle back to what we talked about. If Rory shot a 64, 65, he would have put pressure on Scotty. So to me, and Wyndham shot 65, right? I think there were 3 other guys who shot 65 or 6. So it was very, very doable for Rory to shoot 64, post 15, and see what happens. And he didn't do it. And to me, it wasn't that Scotty was so far ahead. I don't think he went and chased him like he should have.
No. That'd be interesting. Keegan Bradley, we still got to figure out whether or not he is going to play or if he's going to be just the captain. In 3 weeks is the BMW Championship in Owings Mills, Maryland. Of course, Bradley is an East Coast guy. He actually won that event last year. If he goes out and repeats, which is hard, it's going to be very difficult, I think, to keep him away. But I asked you that the last time you joined me. You and I both are in agreement. He should just be the captain.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Either just be the captain and step back. But we'll see. We'll see what he does. Again, he's still got a fire because he's performing, right? But he can't be both.
Yep.
He's got to decide one or the other.
Yep. So Jim Furyk's going to be a co-captain. I know Gary Woodland. That's a great story. He's going to be a captain as well. All right, Rick, give us the very latest. What's going on over at the Wild One Cimarron Golf Club right there on County Road 210?
Well, we're heading into the dog days of summer. So, again, I think I mentioned last show, we're already focused on our fall agronomy. So everything we're doing today to set the golf course up for an incredible fall and winter season. But, we are dog days of summer. So I think people start looking for our Wild One packages much more frequently. We're going to be doing that through the summer, then August and into mid-September. If you're not part of our email program, please go to the website, sign up, and you'll get the special deals. It's typically $49, includes lunch, a beer, and golf, and they'll start to see that and hopefully come out and have a great time and experience the restaurant as well, Stone and Barrel Tap House.
Yeah, always a lot of fun. Always enjoyed. Camp begins on Wednesday, so I'm going to be locked down for a little bit, but during an off day, certainly looking forward to getting back out to the Cimarron Golf Club. And we got some events coming up, but hey, we're not too far away, Rick, from the Ryder Cup at Bethpage Black. That's beginning on September 26th.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great to see what the USA does again on our home turf, right?
Yeah.
And I've always been a little biased to the international guys, and there's some guys that have heated up here, so it's going to be interesting.
No doubt about
Keegan's
it.
picks.
Mm-hmm.
Keegan needs to pick some aggressive players and some with personality, I think, to light a fuse.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that. And we'll speak on that as we get a little bit closer to the Ryder Cup. Rick, always a lot of fun. Thank you.
No, thank you.
There he goes, Rick Shoemaker, the Wild One, Cimarron Golf Club, right there on County Road 210. They've done wonderful things. I know their reputation forever around here was really poor, but with new ownership and the money that has been put in, it is a night and day difference. And, I'll challenge you, play it and let me know. And I've been telling you that for quite some time. And everyone who's reached out has agreed. So there you have it over at Cimarron, right there on, is it State Road or County Road? It's one of the two on 210.
I call it State Road.
Okay.
On the west side, at least.
I don't want to misinterpret. I don't want to get it wrong. I may have gotten it wrong. 7776 says Ballou, Clemson, Miami, SMU, Georgia Tech, Louisville. Georgia Tech is 4 because we took a team that took Georgia to 8 overtimes. Watch out. Oh, man, that was something. Yeah, I'm a big Haynes King guy. I am. I think he's a great college quarterback, in my particular opinion. I have always felt that way. I don't know if I want to get to that. Let me see here. Ballou, For my own sanity, I cannot take another season of sideline cutaway of Mike Norvell looking up at the replay on the Jumbotron with that stupid look in his face that says, I have no idea how to fix this. Last year was embarrassing. I mean, it was. I don't know I don't know how else to say it. They were so poorly coached. And it felt like the players just did not care. It was, arguably the worst experience that I can think of as a Florida State graduate. It was pathetic. And, you look around here with the Jags go 4-13 and everything they've done to fix it. Well, here we are getting ready for camp. And again, I began the show with this. There feels like there's a big jolt of energy in this city. I can feel it right now. It's oozing through the microphone. It is, the headset. I go with an old school headset, right? And I can feel it. I mean, it's good. Change was needed. Change was made. Now we'll witness it. At Florida State, it's like, oh, my God, man. I mean, that was just terrible. And I had someone else here ask me if I found Deion Sanders in Boulder, because we went through Boulder. And I looked at the stadium there at Colorado. I thought Boulder was a beautiful campus. I did. I thought Boise State was very, very nice, seeing the blue field. Again, the other campus we went through was in Pocatello, Idaho. Went through Idaho State, which I thought was, those schools out there are very cool. Of course, it gets cold. It's going to rain, you're going to rain, going to snow. But, I'm not going to hide away from this. Right now, I feel as though I'm going to be asking for the firing of Mike Norvell. Doesn't mean a hill of beans, right? It all comes down to his buyout. But I just went through, and Dylan and I talked about it, how 9-8 for the Jags this year, if it gets them the AFC South divisional title, it's good enough in a turnaround year. I mean, I want to believe that this football team is going to be a lot better in 2026 than they are this year in 2025. They're going to be a lot better in 2027. That's the growth, and it starts with your quarterback. But all of a sudden it feels like, you know what? You got some good young players in this organization. So you look at it that way. I look at what's going on in Tallahassee after a 2-10, and I don't feel anything like that. I feel the exact opposite. It's a broken organization with a bunch of fools at the top who just make bad decision after bad decision after bad decision, whether it's legalities with the Atlantic Coast. I mean, it's just one after another. And it's really run like a circus school. And I hate it. It's my school. But I just can't see how that's going to happen. And right now might be the time, because I don't know if Deion's going to have a good year at Colorado. That's something else that, has been somewhat avoided. What if Deion, without these special players, is just a very average coach, right? I would hate to see him burn out in Boulder, where I still believe the image of Deion Sanders, the money of the NIL. You put him in Tallahassee and you have him line up the best offensive and defensive coordinator that he can get and position coaches. That's it for Florida State. To me, that's the right direction. And some of you are so hard-headed that your feelings are hurt about Deion Sanders. Forget about it, man. It's about winning. And I got people out there telling me they'd accept a 7-5 season. Screw that. I ain't accepting no 7-5. This is Florida State in a soft conference. You should be winning double-digit games. You should be blowing out opponents. You should have players who want to play there, who are begging to play there. Nick Saban coming out of retirement. I love that report over the week. I was over the weekend. To me, it's Deion. The only other coach I could see is Dillingham. He did a real good job as a quarterback coach here. Obviously, he's at Arizona State right now. But, listen, I hope Mike Norvell makes me eat my words. I hope Mike Norvell can put together a 9-3, a 10-2. I don't see it. If I was a betting man, I'd say 7-5, maybe 6-6. And I'm not. But again, I hope he proves me wrong. Much more to do. Take you up till 8 o'clock tonight. Then it's a return of Hacker Nation.
Of all the places in the world, this is our favorite. This is home. 1010XL. Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Franzi, and I've got to tell you, I've heard Hacker and Mike and Matt talk so much about Awaken 180, how easily they were able to lose weight, how it works, the personalized coaching, the food choices, the whole bit, and I was really impressed. So when my daughter Amber told me she was trying to lose a few pounds, I recommended it. She and I both connected with the folks at Awaken 180 to learn more. Well, she started, and she absolutely loves it. She said the food choices are perfect for her. She loves her coach. She believes it truly will improve her overall health. Man, there's not much better than hearing your kid excited. I can assure you nobody means more to me than my daughter, and I wouldn't trust just any company to help her, but I trust the folks at Awaken 180. If you are ready to kickstart your transformation, you should give them a call at 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. It's helped our family. It truly has. It can help yours as well. Give Awaken 180 a call today.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. As temperatures warm up around us, ants come out in droves. And when they move into your home or business, it's unnerving. Terminix knows that ants add up fast, but Terminix subtracts them faster because living with ants isn't any fun. When ants show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with an ant problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com.
If you're 35 to 75, you could get life insurance today. No medical exam needed. I'm Cody with Harborstone Financial. One call could protect your family for life. Call me today, 904-885-9566.
Is your backyard ready for the big leagues? Pick it here for Surfside Pools. Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, they have the home field advantage. Family owned and operated, offering weekly pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools make your backyard dreams a reality. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, your hometown MVP.
License number CPC 044080.
Teach your birdies to sing with Dan, Jeff, and PGA Pros on Brunch with the Tour. Teed up by Clearwater Irrigation and Apex Roofing and Contracting. Brunch provided by Chick-fil-A. 8:30 Tuesday morning on 1010XL.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites.
One of Beard's Diamond's most popular events ever is back. It's Christmas in July. Right now, for a limited time, you get as much as 40% off anything in our showcases. Yes, that includes engagement rings, fashion rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, pendants, colored gemstones. This is the annual store-wide sale that everyone loves, because you get December prices in July. Up to 40% off store-wide. Don't miss Christmas in July. Exclusively at Beard's Diamond at the St. John's Town Center and online at beardsdiamonds.com. Shop local. Shop Beards.
Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels. Circa Resort and Casino has 2 epic pro football contests. Circa Million, and Circa Survivor. Circa Million, pick 5 games weekly against the spread for $1 million grand prize. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no spread. Last one standing wins $15 million. Enter at any Circa in Nevada, play anywhere. Sign up for either and get 50% off a 2-night stay. Helmets and Heels will be live from Circa in Vegas on August 22nd. Full contest details at circasports.com and the 1010XL homepage.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
A lot to choose from. Bryson DeChambeau will be part of the Ryder Cup beginning on September 26th. Of course, he's on the Live Tour. Also, I don't talk politics here, but it involves sports. President Trump is talking about putting restrictions on the brand new stadium in D.C. unless the Commanders change back their name to the Redskins. He's also said the exact same thing with the Cleveland Indians. Who is Cleveland now? What is
Guardians? Come on, Rick.
Guardians. It was funny because I read this and I went to comments. And it's like people need to change Florida State's name. They need to change the Atlanta Braves. They need to change the Chicago Blackhawks. And I don't know what the president actually did say that. So we'll see what happens. All right, 2 stars pitching tonight. Paul Skeens already underway in Pittsburgh. They got a 3-0 lead against the team with the most wins so far this year in Major League Baseball. That is the Detroit Tigers, who are 60-40. Skeens, 3.2 innings pitched, or 3 2/3 would be the correct way to say it. Innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 3 strikeouts, no walks.
Did you see the team that has the most runs in the MLB since the All-Star break as of this morning?
No.
The Chicago White Sox.
Wow. Yeah.
10 runs Friday, Saturday each, and then 7 yesterday.
8 in the Chicago White Sox bar, specifically at the airport. It wasn't O'Hara. It was a Medway. And yeah, I was saying to myself, and it was good. I got some Italian beef. I got myself a Chicago-based hot dog, which I haven't had in a while. You get the tomatoes, you get the pickles.
No
you
pizza?
Put it in the Jordanaire. Oh, I had pizza out west.
Gotcha.
A couple of places, but this is back in Chicago. And I'm like, why would they have a Chicago White Sox bar? Aren't you? I know people there. I mean, a Cubs fan's not going to walk in there, right? It's like, why would you take money away from people? I never understand this, whether it's like a sushi restaurant or whether it's like a brewery that serves only craft beer. for the simple people like me, why not just keep the basic domestics in there as well? You're saying no to money. That's the way I've always looked at it. So, we'll leave it at that. A couple of final emails here. 8218 Ballou. If Mason and Ranshaw are ballers this season, our defense will be good. There's no question about that. And those are two huge names that you can absolutely put on that list. Ballou, what makes you, this 2731, makes you think that Deion is capable of coaching anyone other than his sons, which is all that he has ever done? That's kind of my point on this. We don't know if he can coach. But I still believe this. If Norvell gets fired, he's the guy. And when you bring him in, he's for recruiting. He's for raising money, NIL. Even all the you Noel fans right now are down on him. If he signs, you're going to change. Okay, I know that. You hire the best coordinators that you possibly can, the best position coaches that you possibly can. Deion Sanders becomes a figurehead the way that Bobby Bowden was late in his career, but he's got the power to recruit. He's got the power to create a ton of money. That's what Deion brings. I don't expect him to be grinding things out on third down and what Florida State needs to do. No, that's not going to be his job. And what I would hate to have happen is for him to struggle this year, struggle next year. All of a sudden, it comes out that he can't coach, and then Florida State doesn't have a shot at him. And, I know there's a lot of higher-ups that don't want Deion there. Well, I also know this. Those higher-ups, every move they've made as of late has been wrong.
Now, the 2-minute drill on 1010XL.
Hacker Nation back from a vacay.
Did you have a good time?
Oh, I did. How about you?
I did. I enjoyed the pictures you were putting on social media. You had a much more scenic view than I did when I was down in Orlando.
It's amazing. I put quite a few on Facebook, and you get so many people who respond. I put like 2 or 3 on Twitter, and there's crickets. You notice how Twitter's like, don't send me anything warm and fuzzy.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Just get to the meat and potatoes here, Ballou. Give me something on the Jags, or give me some. I don't care if you're looking at a waterfall in Idaho.
Well, the interesting thing is for me, so Forest, when you go on Space Mountain at Disney World, you got to be 44 inches tall. All right. My man got measured outside Space Mountain. They went to the index card.
Oh.
And he got on. But they told him, they said, when you are getting on the ride, there's one more measurement you basically have to pass. They get final say. 36 years ago, I kid you not, I made the outside height requirement.
Right.
I get all the way to the front of the ride, about to get on. They wouldn't let me on.
Really?
So I'm sitting here thinking, same building. Now I'm the dad. I have the 5-6-year-old. Is the history going to repeat itself 36 years later?
Can't you spike the hair?
You can. You can put tissue paper in the shoes. There's all sorts of things you can do. He made it by that much. And he got to go on Space Mountain, and he absolutely loved it. And it made the entire trip, man. Yeah. That's all he was talking about. Am I tall enough for Space Mountain? And he made it by a hair.
That's very cool.
He loved it.
That's absolutely very cool. Yeah, we had a 6-year-old with us, my GF's granddaughter, and we ran into some similar situations.
Yeah.
Where a parent had to attend. So that was great. All right, so you and I are back now for good. This is it.
Yeah, I think I got one day in like the middle part of August, but yeah, until Christmas, that's it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed vacation season, but I'm fired up for Wednesday, Miller Electric Center. I know you already got your players you're talking to. I'm going to talk with Robert Hainsey on Wednesday and going to keep moving on from there. So, yeah, it's football season, man.
It's here. We got one more day tomorrow, and then, of course, bright and early Wednesday morning, we will be at the Miller Electric Center. All right, what do you got coming up tonight?
Yeah, a lot of Jaguar talk, obviously. Ryan Fowler, NFL analyst, is going to join me. Also, Easton Freeze, A2ZSports.com. We'll talk Jaguars. I also want to spend some time with Easton, who's based in Nashville, with a Will Levis story today. Kind of came out of nowhere. Now, it's not going to matter if Cam Ward is healthy. If Cam Ward is hurt, all of a sudden the Titans have serious problems at quarterback, because Levis is obviously going to miss the entire season.
Well, I think of midsummer when there were reports were that Lagway wasn't throwing, and everyone in Gator Nation is like, oh my God, does he need surgery? And at that point, it would have been too late, but why didn't he have it earlier? Unless Will Levis just did something, and I know you'll find out, why wait till now to have surgery?
On the surface, I think it's because he wanted out of Tennessee. They couldn't find a trade partner. And he said, you know what? I'm not even going to be here in 2026. I'm going to be as healthy as I possibly can going into free agency next year. So I'm just going to get the surgery. So whether you agree with it or not, that's kind of Levis's mindset, in my opinion. I'll find out what Easton Freeze thinks, who's, again, based up in Nashville, coming up in the 9 o'clock hour.
All right, Hack. Have a fun show.
Thanks, Rick.
That's coming up right now. That is Hacker Nation right here on your home of the Jaguars. Thank you to Rick Shoemaker, our golf analyst, for joining us. Of course, he is with the Wild One Cimarron Golf Club right there on State Road 210. Dylan Denmark produced it. Oh, it's good to be back. It really is. First show, but I'm here for a long time. No days off until the Super Bowl. Okay? That's the way it's going to be. We'll talk to you tomorrow night at 6 o'clock right here.